Everybody, so just finished up my baseball practice. The lighting is terrible, but you can see the beautiful outdoors, which is pretty cool. But I got my coffee, decaf coffee, obviously. It's around 5:30. Um, yeah, baseball's going well, but things that are going on, I guess, starting up running again. And yesterday I went for a 2.5 mile run walk. I only ran about half of that, but it's good to get back to running. The thing that I used to do was running. I used to be a runner, so the longest amount I've ever ran in my life in one day was 19 miles. I ran 15 miles before my first class, which I think was like 9 in the morning. This was during college. And then after that same day, like 3, I ran another 4. And that was like the peak of my long distance running before. And I haven't ran like that in like 7 years. So I'm trying my best to get back into some sort of running shape because I want to run a half marathon in September. So I gotta get started again. I gotta start really from zero. So I'm gonna run about 10 miles, 10 to 12 miles this week, every other day, and then slowly build back up to when I can run more like 8 miles at once, which is gonna take some time. It's gonna be pretty difficult, but I think that because of my muscles are used to it, because I was a runner for years, I should be able to return back to form sooner rather than a normal person who has never participated in long distance running at all. But that's the plan for this next few months. Tomorrow I don't have baseball practice, so I'm gonna end up going for a run that time. During baseball practice, I go for a run instead. I'm just gonna bring my shorts and a shirt to the school so I can run. The place I live at is really hilly, and getting started on the hills is going to be a problem, so I'm just going to bring some shorts and a shirt and just get changed at the school, go for my run, drive home, and then shower up. But, yeah, that's the plan for my fitness, I guess. But, the Red Sox played the Cincinnati Reds. We lost 2 of 3 games. Both were alright. Sonny Gray started off pretty poorly. Garnerly early, he started off alright too. We gave up only 1 run, but then Greg Weissert gave a 3-run bomb to Yoenis Suarez, who's making his return to the Cincinnati Reds after being with the Mariners and the Rangers. He played for the Cincinnati Reds for 7 years before it. I don't know if he was traded or it was a free agency signing, but he ended up leaving, I guess. But my Red Sox are going to be playing again tonight against the Houston Astros. I'm not quite sure who's pitching though, but it's a new guy. But should be a good game, I hope, because you know how fans are. You lose 2 games in a row and your world starts crumbling down. So I hope we do well. Wilyer Abreu, a Venezuelan player, hit 2 home runs, 1 home run the last 2 games, which is pretty cool. Trevor Story, shortstop, also hit a homer, which was also pretty cool. So we got some pop, we got our strings together, some at bats. Corbin Durbin or Caleb Durbin is struggling at the plate. He still hasn't gotten a hit in the last 3 games, which is not crazy because baseball is a sport of failure. But I would love for him to string a hit together sometime. He was up at the plate. We had 2 guys on down a run, and he couldn't string a hit together, which was tough to watch and probably pretty tough for him. adjusted to a new team so soon, but I hope he starts stringing some hits together. That game starts at 8. My plan after filming and posting this video is going to be to read a little bit more of The Stand. I haven't read it in a long time, being like a few days. But I told myself this morning that when I got back from practice, I would definitely pick it up and read at least a couple chapters. It is a good book, and the thing is, once you get started reading the book, it's pretty easy not to put down. It's just getting started. It's just a lot easier for me to just pick up the laptop, watch some YouTube or Netflix. But I need to just get in the habit of just getting back to school or from school, picking up the book and that reading in. Also, I'm going to be doing summer school this year. It's going to be $50 an hour, which was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. My friend told me it was $30 an hour, which is still good, but $50 really does make it worth it. It's going to be 4 hours, 3 days a week for 4 weeks. So that's an extra $2,400, tax without taxes included, which is awesome, especially when I'm going to be trying to move and I would love to have plenty of money for a security deposit, so I don't need to really reach into anything. So, and then I hope to get some sort of raise for my next contract, which would be great. And as well as if I do some door dashing over the summer, or I do find some sort of easy kind of mindless job to do that can work around my summer school schedule. That's the plan over the summer, really, is to make some money so I can be more financially independent. Excuse me. And really find a good place for me to live. That's my own. But today actually went really well. We're in the last stages of this quarter, so I'm reviewing for the final with the kids. We played Quizlet Live, and then a new game called Quick Hands, which I found on this guy's Instagram, a teacher's Instagram, who posts a lot of fun review games. And it's when you put a marker, you stand up a marker on a desk, and you ask a question, you count to a certain number, and then you say go, and the first person to grab the marker without it, like, falling off the ground, they have to actually grab it. They get to answer the question. If they get it right, their team gets a point. It was really fun. It was fun to watch certain kids who don't really like participating in class really kind of open up by the end and be like, oh, this actually is fun. Let me join in. It was fun to see their like hard shells kind of melt away by the end of it. Tomorrow I'm gonna be tomorrow I'm gonna be doing some sort of Quizlet Live again. I like it because it is a review, a really simple review for them. And then I could be doing another game from that Instagram guy, Roll the Dice, where they each get a whiteboard. Every team gets a whiteboard, and you ask a question, and if they get the question right, they get to roll the dice. If the dice add up to an even number, they get 2 points. If the dice add up to an odd number, they get 0, something like this. I need to review my point value again, or they lose a point, I think it is. And then if they get like double the same number, they get 2 points. And if they get stake eyes, they get 3 points. That's what it was. So if they roll the dice and get evens, they gain a point. So they get the point for the getting the question right, plus another for rolling evens. If they roll odds, they get a point for getting the question right, but it nets back out to 0 because they ended up losing that point when they roll odds. If they roll doubles, they end up getting 2 points, and if they roll snake eyes, they get 3. My one worry was kids would think it's unfair that they ended up rolling odds and not getting that point for getting it right, but kids really didn't seem to care. They were just having fun, and it's kind of fun to see the kids like, I want to roll an odd, or I want to roll an even, and see them kind of lose it if they roll an odd. I just find it funny that kids, it is for the love of the game, being a kid, right? They're not really getting anything out of it, being like it's just for the love of the game, which I love about children. A lot of the times it is just for the love of the game. Amateur sports is like that too. It is like just for the love of the game. There's no contracts or worrying about how much money you're making compared to another guy, which is awesome to see. Why the Olympics are so cool. And that's what I think a lot of adults, they end up missing. It's just for the love of the game. It's just to have fun. And a lot of times kids still have that in them, which I love about them. But tomorrow's Tuesday, no practice, which is good. I can get my final all finalized. I'm gonna have it on Google Forms, so it grades itself. And yeah, then after that, I think I'm gonna watch the Lorax with them. I did make a mistake. I thought the quarter ended on Friday, but it actually ends on Tuesday. The last day is next Tuesday, so instead of having just 2 days to watch a movie, I now have 4 days and really nothing planned. So I think I might have to pivot and watch like some sort of economic movie before I just put a fun one on. Having 4 days of just fun movies, I think is too much for me. I think I drive myself insane. So I'm gonna try to find some sort of economic movie or something where they can do something. I was also thinking about having a project where they have to research a Fortune 500 company, which I think would be cool too. But one of those things I really have to come up with a decision by Wednesday. So at least that Wednesday I can tell them what they're doing on Thursday. But yeah, overall today, good day. I mean, after you hear that you're gonna get $50 an hour for summer school instead of 30, I mean that's awesome. Practice was great. We got to go outside, so that was fun. They got to hit real baseballs for once, which was good. We have some good hitters. We do have some struggling hitters, but we have plenty of good hitters as well. There is one guy on the team, an 8th grader, who is really, really lazy. He's always late, and me and the coaches were talking about him, and we're going to try to motivate him one way or another. Because being an 8th grader, the 6th graders see what he gets away with, and I don't want to put any kind of bad things in their minds about what's okay and what's not okay. So tomorrow, I'm going to tell him to make sure he just brings his baseball stuff to the school. I know he lives close enough go get it, but he doesn't live close enough to go walk, get it, and be back on time for practice. So I'm going to tell him to bring his baseball stuff into the school so that he can get here on time. And if not, he's going to have to run because it is what it is. Everybody else is able to follow that schedule. So I do want to show him that the coaches and I do want to show him that we do mean what we say. And if practice starts at 3:15, you better be here at 3:15. No more showing up late. And apparently this is just like a culture shock for these 8th graders. Last year, apparently they are allowed to have their girlfriends in the dugout with them during games, and it was just a lot more lax. And that's not going to happen this year. It's a culture shock for a lot of them because the school, apparently the whole school in general, is a lot more relaxed than it is now. But that's the problem. It was too relaxed, and now they are failing like statewide assessments, and everything is now, really, really strict and regimented because of that failure of those assessments. So it has been a culture shock for a lot of these 8th graders, which has led to some pushback. But right now, I think we're in a sweet spot where 8th graders are kind of accepting of it. They should be. It's near April, so just gonna have to kind of get that together for the baseball team. Just for this one 8th grader who's kind of being a little lazy. And I don't want that to be the norm, and I don't want that to seep into others who are used to working hard and used to being on time. So that's the one thing we're going to work on this week with my baseball team. But yeah, I really don't know what else to talk about. I got some Dyson chicken wings I'm going to air fry for dinner. I'm going to take a shower before I read because I am pretty gross. I got some mud on my, it's not like super bad obviously because I'm sitting in my baseball, even though you're not like running a lot, it does make you